Hey, Shalom, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Men Stone. Shalom to your brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. Your brother Chapal from Jimmy's Jamaica Camp. Now, it's pretty ironic now, in the media where Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, and you know, I don't think I will do much less on this topic anymore because, you know, we don't want to get feed into the distraction because this is all that it is, you know, distraction. You know, there's a lot of things going on over there in Ukraine and, you know, between Russia, you know, even Europe, you know. But this serves as a distraction. Anything you see in the mainstream media being pushing this hard, you know, I mean, it's for a reason, you know. The shock and awe value, you know what I mean, of people, you know, caught up, you know what I mean, while things has been going on over another side of the world, you know what I mean. So, you know, it's control of position, you know, it's the whole left right. But one of the things I want to speak of is that it's amazing how quickly people take on to this Hebrew Israelite thing now become a hot topic, you know. And the reason is the men that really speaking about this thing now, them have a lot of followers, you know what I mean, them have a huge platform, you know, where people, you know what I mean, follow them daily, you know, every single thing what them do, people follow them, you know. But the thing is this, highly unlikely that these men are going to humble themselves and come to this faith, you know what I mean. And as the Apostle Gabar said in one of his recent video, that is that it's going to take a great humbling for any of these men to come down, you know what I mean, to come, like preaching Kanye West, coming down to the level of a new brother in the faith, holding posts, bringing out scriptures, you know, learning under men where, you know, never yet see the lifestyle where him see are exposed to the thing where him exposed. And him exposed to a lot of things that does the good life, but, you know what I mean, the fucked up part of life, man. You know? So, we know that these men are being set up, right? These men are being set up there, and it's highly unlikely that any of these men are going to come down. Not saying the Lord can't put the spirit on them, but it's highly unlikely. Scripture say, you know, it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of an eagle, you know, than a rich man to enter into the kingdom. No. Where the thing is at now, man, it's about being poor. You know, when I say you have to be poor to come into this faith, but we're saying that it's easier for you because you don't have anything, you know what I mean, you don't have that much to lose. And a lot of men can attest to this, man. When them just come into the faith, they were humbled. You know, I myself were humbled. You know what I mean? To the point where this is the only thing that I saw makes sense. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers also, like, you know, they share their experience, and you know, right? But the thing is that, man, we've been saying, and the elders and the apostles them and the highways and the byways has been saying the same thing where these men just come up and say, what, a week, a day, you know, and it is being overlooked by us. We've been overlooked, they've been overlooked, you know, the apostles and our elders also, for years. It's not one time I've ever gone to the mainstream media except for slandering us, you know what I mean. But now these men just come up a couple of days ago and say, hey, we're Hebrew Israelite, and they just take on. We know it's been pushed out there deliberately, but it's one of the scriptures I want to bring out to show you that, look, there's an energy in sincerity, man, and a vibration that cannot be faked. You understand? There's an energy in purity, sincerity, and truth. You know what I mean? And only the poor are the meek, because only them alone, man, I will really see. You have to be brought down to a level to actually see and understand certain things. And that's what the most are looking for, man. They're looking for the niggas where come up already. You know what I mean? Come up and, you know, you have a sort of You know what I mean? It's about the meek. The scripture said the meek shall inherit the earth, man. Right? Let me just read the scripture before I get any further. This is Wisdom of Solomon. This is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 13. So this wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seems great unto me. There is a little city, and few men within it. There came a great king against the city to besiege it, right? And build a great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered the same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Right? He said, the words of the wise are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Point out there I want to get is that the poor man's wisdom is despised, man. See? People, and I'm talking about you so-called Negroes, man. And even out here in Jamaica, man, it's a thing among Jake. If you come to Jake and you tell them, say, look, you're an Hebrew Israelite, you know, this is your heritage. So-called white man is Esau Edom. This is what they're planning to do. You know what I mean? The Lord has prepared a kingdom for us. The Lord's name is Yahweh. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh Shai. I'm sorry, the Lord's name is the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh. The Lord's name is Yahweh Shai. You know? All of these things, you know, we've been put into Jake on a daily. And not one time Jake has ever considered that, hey, you know, I want to something, you know, it makes sense, you know. Or even if them does consider it, them just brush it off. But a man like Kyrie Irving, right, who have not done any extensive research as it's pertaining to the truth, you know what I mean? Kanye West and all of these men just come up like in a couple of weeks, you know, saying that, hey, the Hebrew Israelites, you know, and they have garnered more trust and more fame and more admiration by our people than the men with them say out there in the highways and the byways preaching and teaching the world. Because guess what? We look like them, and we don't look like anybody who is supposed to give any sort of respect or any listening ears to. But guess what? That's a stumbling block. That's what the Lord is looking for, man, because that only brings true sincerity. That's what it brings. It brings true sincerity, because you have to be sincere. If you see some men on the highways, because this is my introduction to the truth, you know, right? I see some men out there on the highways and the byways, and them look just like me, but the Spirit of the Most High have really on you, you know, and you know them garments and things, and I walked away, man, you know, and then the next Saturday saw them again, and I say, hey, look, I'm gonna go across with you what them said. And the moment I heard what these men are saying, man, trust me, it you know, it grab you. And from it grab you, it not let go until now, man. You know, it's still holding on, you're still holding on, you know what I mean, to that belief that you had. You know? So if I had a lot of values and a lot of possession in this world, it might be my mind wouldn't be that inclined to the truth. You know? So we say all of that to say this, man. Look, the poor man words is always despised. And this is how you know it is true, because scripture says what? Broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction, and many there be that find it. And prophet paraphrase scripture, but narrow is the way that leadeth unto righteousness, and they're going to be few. See? So the camps and when you see, man, the man them will look out there like bum. These are the men that are true men of the Lord, man, because the scripture show you that. A matter of fact, let me get quick scripture. Just a moment. Alright, so this is scripture right here. Acts 4 and verse 13. It says, "Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahushua." See? So, yes, we come up. Hey, a lot of brothers go to college, you know what I mean? A lot of brothers in the truth are from different background. See, but you have men who came up and basically just hear the truth and gravitate, because it is the spirit of Yahweh Shai which we're walking with right now, just like these men. But these men were never confounded, right? Through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shai, once you speak his words in 100% truth and sincerity, we can never be confounded, because it is not our word. And this is what makes us very knowledgeable, man. Right? So just like back then, they found these men. And these men, these are the apostles, man. Right? That walked with Yahushua, which have immense wisdom. But they were what? Unlearned. They weren't brought up, you know what I mean, in the best schools. They weren't exposed to a certain lifestyle. You understand? These men were the simple men with the Lord just speak. Right? And just, you know, put his words into their hearts, man, and into their mouth, and they speak it, right? And then they become great men. See? But these men, speaking about the, you know, your Kyrie Irvings, your Kanye West, and so on and so forth, these men is exposed to the world, man, and these men have a lot of demons on them, and these men have a lot of these men are exposed to the world music industry, and we all know all of that about them. You know, we know the rituals and all of that, you know, that they have to do. Right? And these men, people hold these men in high regard, even over the men of the Lord, man, which is doing this thing in sincerity. And these men are wicked niggas, man. Right? These men have to do a bunch of shit to get where they are. So not because a man stop and turn around and say, "Hey, look," and say something that might spark your interest, where some men, but you know, regard, I say a long time ago, it doesn't mean that these men now all of a sudden become righteous or have immense knowledge. You know what I mean? They might have a knowledge and all the inside work of wickedness. You know? But that just go to show you, man. The spirit of the Lord, it never lies. You know, he tell you about these men, and now we can read about, you know, these scenarios in the scriptures. One last scripture before we close off. Let me see. This is Luke 16 and verse 15. And he said unto them, "Ye are they which justify yourselves among men, but Yahweh shall know your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Yahweh shall." See, so these men where you see that are highly esteemed among men, they are an abomination, man. See? They're an abomination because a lot of them now give up them lavish lifestyle to do the simple things that we done. You know? We don't love the world, man. Right? These men have deals, businesses. Are they willing to walk away from that? Because they have employees for pay. Regardless, because these men are a brand. So these men have employees for pay. These men have a lot of things. You know what I mean? And them even a lot of demons. So that's just basically what I want to bring out, you know, for the time being. You know. But most I use the meek or the hurt, man, or the simple things. You know, that's how the Lord shows his strength. And it's not likely that these men are going to ever come to the truth. You know, the true realization of Yahweh Shai. Do they know the name Yahweh Shai? You know, these are some of the things. You know, so we don't want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kodash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching, swearing in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.